This program is proudly brought to you by Nautilus Minerals.
Welcome to a special episode of Resource PNG. This week we take a look at Nautilus Minerals and the Solwara 1 project.
Land mining of valuable minerals has been done since prehistoric times. Mining, in a wider sense, is the extraction of any non-renewable resources such as petroleum, natural gas, gold, copper, and even water. So why go to the sea? The answer is simple. Because it makes sense. In today's evolving and modern world, changes are constant. Everyone wants a better life. Because of this, change is imminent, and so is the demand to make this happen. You may not realize, but the life we lead and the technology that we use depends a lot on these non-renewable resources. And because of the rising demand that we and the rest of the world have for these, land resources are becoming stretched to meet these demands. That is why it only makes sense that we look at a more high-tech, high-grade, low-volume, low-waste, small-footprint solution, and then say to ourselves, going to the sea makes sense.
Yeah, minerals are essential to the society that we live in, and have been for humans since the dawn of the Bronze Age, I guess. You know, what's that, 3,000–4,000 years ago, at least. And during this time, metal consumption has steadily increased, and the types of metals and minerals that societies needed have expanded as technologies expanded. A country like Papua New Guinea has quite a large EEZ, and it has an internal territorial sea.
Nautilus Minerals is the leading exploration and development of seafloor copper, gold, silver and zinc resources. Nautilus Minerals is currently developing the high-grade Solwara 1 copper-gold project in Papua New Guinea. The deposit contains an average copper grade 10 times higher than a typical land-based porphyry copper mine.
The project will have a small footprint, about 0.1 square kilometers. So it is a small project. When we extract the material, there won't be any blasting. It'll be a cutting material, as I said. We'll cut the material with the cutting machines. There won't be any, the only fluids that we use will be biodegradable fluids in the machinery, so it will have a low environmental impact.
PNG was the first country in the world to have the vision and foresight to grant an offshore exploration license. They granted it to Nautilus Minerals in 1997. After extensive exploration work, Nautilus put in place plans to develop the Solwara 1 project. Following the PNG Environment Act, the PNG government completed an extensive review of the Solwara 1 Environmental Impact Statement, EIS, using international independent consultants. Following this review in 2009, the PNG government granted Nautilus Minerals an environment permit for the Solwara 1 project. In 2011, Nautilus was granted mining lease 154 at the prospect known as Solwara 1.
The activities that were carried out basically range from terrain selection right up to resource evaluation. As a result of those activities, we were able to identify 19 Solwaras, I think, and out of those 19 Solwaras, I think Solwara 1 was the most advanced one.
Nautilus Minerals has several sites of interest in the Bismarck Sea, the most studied being Solwara 1. Solwara 1 is located 30 kilometers from the nearest coast of New Ireland province and at water depths of 1,600 meters, which is very deep and well away from fish stocks and coral reefs. The extraction area is relatively small with an area of 0.11 square kilometers. The Solwara 1 project is building momentum, with the seafloor project tools being built, now fully assembled and entering the commissioning and factory acceptance phase. Nautilus expects Solwara 1 to produce mineralized material from the seafloor at an average annual rate of approximately 1.2 million tons. The main minerals that will be extracted from the Solwara 1 site are copper, gold and silver. These minerals are in high demand globally due to our increasing demand for technologies such as computers, mobile phones, electrical items, home appliances, cars, aeroplanes, machinery and many other items. Nautilus Minerals is currently developing a world-class seafloor production system for the Solwara 1 project. The technology being used is a combination of existing technologies from the offshore oil and gas and offshore minerals sectors with technologies used in land-based operations. The innovative part is that they have put all of these technologies together to make a system that can recover minerals from the deep seafloor. The seafloor production system has been carefully designed to ensure coral reefs and fish will not be exposed to any material from seafloor operations.
This particular tool is the bulk cutter machine. When it's finally assembled, this machine will be about 300 tons in weight, 14.5 meters long, about 4.2 meters wide across the tracks, and approximately 8 meters tall. In order to get this machine to work, we have to first deploy the auxiliary cutter. The auxiliary cutter is the pioneering machine. That's the machine that first prepares the mine site and prepares a flat area for which we are able to deploy the bulk cutter to. The riser and lift system comprises two parts. One is the riser system, which is a 12-inch pipe and two 8-inch pipes, and then the pump, the subsea lift pump. The pump is a large diaphragm pump. It receives the slurry from the collection machine and then it pumps the slurry up through the 12-inch riser to the production vessel where it's dewatered. The water, which is about 80% of the volume, is filtered, treated and mixed with existing seawater and returns down the 8-inch pipe, and that's what provides the motive power for the diaphragms in the pump. The whole RAL system is a closed system, and so all of the material is always closed and captive throughout its whole journey.
Nautilus has, with the assistance of international renowned scientists, committed to a number of ways to protect the environment.
A lot of work has been done to understand the impacts to the environment at Solwara 1. To me, the thing that stands out most about this project is the amount of consultation we did to understand the impacts of this project. For us at Nautilus, we wanted our approach to be transparent from the very start. So we started by consulting local communities, local and provincial governments, the national government, NGOs, universities, various stakeholders in this. These scientists were engaged and we got their views about what needed to be studied at Solwara 1, and then they were engaged based on their capabilities to do various studies at Solwara 1. Now, these scientists were also free to publish their findings, and this has resulted in a number of publications that has come out in reputable journals and international conferences around the world. And we have accepted all recommendations or strategies made by these scientists and used this to develop our mitigation strategies accordingly.
As to be expected, a lot has been said about Nautilus and the environmental impact that Solwara 1 will have on PNG and its surroundings. Research and extraction plans demonstrate that there are lots of reasons why seafloor resource production offers many environmental and social advantages to mineral development compared to its land-based counterparts. First of all, Solwara 1 has a smaller physical footprint. The size of the site is much smaller than typical land-based mine sites. Due to the high grade of the deposit, less material is required to mine the same amount of mineral. This also has an added benefit of minimal waste. As the deposit is located right on the seafloor, no land clearing or large-scale pre-stripping needs to take place. Unlike many mines on land, no mountains need to be removed to get to the ore body. Nautilus has also committed to no toxic or hazardous chemicals being discharged into the ocean. Nautilus has also committed to the use of biodegradable fluids in all subsea equipment. These commitments go beyond what is required by legislation and demonstrate Nautilus's commitment to keeping the environment safe. Fish safety is a high priority for Nautilus, and they have specifically designed a production system that will not impact coral reefs or fish stocks. Nautilus had also designed a fully enclosed riser and lifting system. This system will ensure the mine material will not come into contact with the seawater. There will be no extraction impact shallower than a water depth of 1,300 meters. Tuna live in the top 400 meters of the water column, where sunlight is. This is well away from operations. Nautilus has also taken the initiative to relocate existing seafloor animals to enhance animal repopulation. Solwara 1 is located near a volcano called North Sioux. This is an active volcano which has been spewing out ash for the past 20 years. This ash has never been noticed on the surface and has not impacted fish stocks or the water column. Any plume from mining operations will be kept below the plume produced from North Sioux.
To further minimize the impact on the marine life and the water column, we are making sure that all the fluids that will be used are biodegradable fluids, and there will be no onboard processing, meaning there will be no tailings. So no tailings will be put out, so there is no harm to the water column nor to the marine life, meaning the fish stock and the corals.
Solwara 1 also has viable commercial benefits. Solwara 1 has much higher grades of copper, gold and silver than any comparable land-based mine. In addition to high grades, the infrastructure required for Solwara 1 is movable and reusable, meaning it can be easily relocated to other sites for other projects. As there are no villages or communities located at the Solwara 1 site, the company's engagement focuses on communities located closest to Solwara 1. Nautilus has been conducting community consultation in Papua New Guinea since 2006. To date, they have visited 56 different villages, speaking to an estimated 22,000 people throughout Papua New Guinea. Nautilus has gone beyond the requirements of the PNG Mining Act by continuing to conduct regular meetings and workshops alongside provincial and national government representatives.
There's been a lot of work at the project site, near Solwara site, especially in East New Britain and New Ireland, since 2007. There's been a lot of community engagement since then. We do about 2 trips backwater in a year. So 1 trip to New Ireland, 1 trip to East New Britain, talking to the people up on the project. Since this is a new project, we want to ensure that people are fairly aware and understand what we're doing.
Due to the location of Solwara 1, communities do not need to be relocated, meaning limited to no social disturbance. Landowners and local businesses will be provided with opportunities to provide Solwara 1 with goods and services. In addition to the direct benefits from the Solwara 1 project, communities have benefited from Nautilus's wide range of community initiatives.
We've been involved with the communities since 2008, and that's been a long time in our involvement. We are now looking at widening our engagement with the community in terms of providing sanitation projects as well as looking at water supply projects, because these are the projects that are needed very much in the villages, in the areas in which we've been operating. We are also looking at engaging with the provincial government of New Ireland in terms of trying to assist in the provision of some infrastructure projects, and that those discussions are continuing. And we hope that through this sort of program, we can be able to give some assistance to the development of those 2 provinces.
Since 2007, Nautilus Minerals has supported many community programs and charities throughout PNG. Some of these include donating funds to the Port Moresby City Mission, which helps improve the quality of life of street children, helped fund the development of the Stempa Community Hall in Namatanai, supported top academic students in New Ireland and East New Britain through sponsorships of prizes for school science awards and textbook donations, employed students from local institutions to act as marine mammal observers on exploration vessels, supply essential data to the PNG National Maritime Safety Authority to assist in the updating of nautical charts. In 2014, Nautilus Minerals implemented a water and sanitation program in 2 locations along the west coast of New Ireland. This program saw the 2 locations receive new toilet facilities and a water supply solution which will provide clean water for drinking, cooking and cleaning. Nautilus looks forward to continuing this water and sanitation program over the coming years. Once operational, Nautilus Minerals has committed to setting up a community development fund. The fund will be managed by the company, but run by an independent group based in PNG. The focus of the fund will be to increase health and education services, as agreed with the relevant provincial governments. The Community Development Fund is an example of how Nautilus is committed to going above and beyond what is required by the law. Nautilus is dedicated to local enhancement and encourages students to pursue studies in science, environment, geology and technology. Currently, 20% of the Nautilus workforce is PNG nationals. This is expected to increase to 25% in the next couple of months as recruitment drives gets underway. Nautilus' ultimate goal is to have 50% of the operations workforce comprised of PNG nationals. In doing so, they aim to employ and provide vocational training for local geologists, geophysicists and environmental scientists.
It will benefit us in a sense that it will put us on a world map that we are the first to venture into such industry, that land-based resources are becoming stretched. People will start to look for metals. Where else will they go look for metals? They'll eventually end up going offshore, and I guess that's the only logic area that you need to go and look for metals.
As its continued support to education, Nautilus Minerals to date has supported students in the field of marine science. To date, Nautilus Minerals has awarded 4 promising young Papua New Guinean students the opportunity to pursue studies in marine science at the renowned Duke Marine Lab at the Duke University in North Carolina, USA. Recipients spend months learning state-of-the-art marine science techniques whilst working alongside and under the supervision of world-leading deep-sea ecologists. Past recipients of the bursary have used this opportunity to kickstart their careers in marine science and pass on valuable knowledge learned to their fellow Papua New Guineans. Building on this opportunity, in 2013 and 2014, in partnership with UPNG and Duke University, Nautilus Mineral developed a marine science short course to be taught in PNG. In both 2013 and 2014, 21 students from South Pacific nations were provided the opportunity to undertake an intensive program during which they learned skills and techniques not taught in any other course in PNG.
We're now looking at other ways of making this program benefit more Papua New Guineans. Instead of sending one Papua New Guinean to the United States for 6 months, we're bringing the program to PNG. We're running this at Keviang with 20 UPNG students and 3 international students from South Pacific University in Fiji. These students will have a 3-week program at Nago Island in Keviang. We're doing lab work, and for the first time in PNG, we're bringing 6 ROVs to PNG, and I will have the students assemble this and use them for their small projects around Keviang.
Nautilus Minerals has donated 2 of the mini ROVs built to institutions in PNG. Nautilus looks forward to the ongoing partnership with such institutions, which will continue to increase capacity building in PNG. Seafloor resource production presents a potential new source of income and growth for PNG from a resource that has yet to be utilized. The Solwara 1 project will bring benefits in the form of royalties and improvements in PNG's balance of trade and generated for new industrial development that can have positive social and economic effects. Through the Petromin joint venture, PNG will also share in the profits and in technology transfer from the project. These benefits can be maintained for many years to come as the industry of seafloor resource production unfolds.
My dream, my aspiration in this job is to see Papua New Guineans benefit, especially with the transfer of highly technical knowledge to our Papua New Guineans, with the use and the expertise in the areas of remotely operated vehicles. Wouldn't it be wonderful, to see Papua New Guineans behind those joysticks and controlling these machines that are operating at water depths of 1,600 meters? Wouldn't it be wonderful to see Papua New Guineans really fully embracing this venture and putting PNG itself on the global map?
I encourage Papua New Guineans to venture into this, not only to become geologists, but there are a lot of technologies associated in trying to look for these seafloor massive sulfides that I think Papua New Guineans can have the opportunity to get involved. Things like become an ROV pilot.
Being the first female geoscientist who is privileged to be in this new frontier, I'd like to say that we must appreciate opportunities that are given to us, make use of all opportunities. And I'd like to encourage all aspiring scientists to never shy away from challenges, but to step up to challenges, and do not be afraid to embrace innovative developments. If we can all do that, then we can contribute meaningfully and positively towards the development of this nation, both economically and socially.
I must say that I've been in the mining industry for a long time, but this project excites me very much. I love working to develop Solwara 1 project. Not only will we be creating new employment, new skills, new technology in the form of new knowledge, but we will be creating a new industry that has the great potential for Papua New Guinea and other Pacific countries. Papua New Guinea will lead the world in this area and will be known as the country that had the vision to venture into an industry that has the potential to create new resources for a world that continues to desire to improve the conditions of life and the standard of living of its people. And as a Papua New Guinean, I am very proud to be involved in this project.
The world's demand, or should I say our demand, for metals and minerals is on the rise, with land resources becoming increasingly stretched. And Nautilus Minerals' environmentally responsible approach through seafloor resource production is undoubtedly the best way forward. It just makes sense.
This is where we end this episode of Resource PNG. If you want to contribute to this program, get in touch with us via email on resourcepng@mtv.com.pg. To view this edition again, log on to www.mtv.com.pg, where you will find a link to the Resource PNG page. Until the next time, pleasant view.
This program was proudly brought to you by Nautilus Minerals.